plays that they're involved with throughout a ball game. And O'Shea knows that. He knows it's a free shot on the quarterback. He's anticipating it. He just shot his gun just a little bit too late there and missed him high and over the top.
Well, you heard Ron Lancaster speaking with David Amber. And there's enough modesty in this man, a great man, the CFL for a long time, but you also know there's that part of him that is never going to take anything for granted. And this is dangerous stuff. Sure, they still have a 14-point lead, but it's been cut in half very quickly.
Game of momentum, and this momentum is definitely in Saskatchewan's favor right now. Danny Barrett's got this team rolling, full of confidence.
And I wonder what he's saying to them on that Ticats sideline. As Amerson takes it off the kickoff, all the momentum belongs to the green and white so far in the second half, including that big pop.
McCarty on the stop forward.
With Chance McCarty sticking Amerson there.
Chance McCarty saying, hey, don't forget about me just because Scribner's starting D-line. Hey, I can make plays too.
Would you call that a chance meeting, perhaps?
I'm talking about a collision. I'm talking about getting stopped dead in the tracks and saying, eat turf. That is a big body hitting a little man there. That's not even fair. Emerson bounced up, and I give credit to number 9 there, folks.
He looks like he's still looking for the number.
That was a big semi wearing number 99.
McManus passing. Morreale has it. Up to the Ticat 30, shy of a first down. And the one thing you can see in Saskatchewan is more energy, a little more fire, and you can see it in the hitting and the way they're tracking them down and making their tackles.
Tough start to this half for Danny McManus, throwing 2 quick interceptions. Just goes to show you can't rest on 347 yards in the first half in the air. Comes back out, losing momentum, definitely shifted to Saskatchewan. And they're making it happen right now. They're taking the game away from Hamilton.
Jarrett Smith in and running back in a short yardage situation, and I don't know if he got it. He got across the 30 to about the 31. He looked like he needed a bit more. Depends on the spot.
Are you betting, man, Rod?
Not in this case. Actually, you know what? If my bet goes in now, I say they're shy by maybe an inch or 2. Of course, I'm using your money for the wager.
Oh, I'm in agreement with you there, Rod.
Okay, I'm using my money. No. Wow. That much.
That ain't closer than that.
And there is the son of head coach Ron Lancaster, Ron Jr., known as R.D. Lancaster. And by the way, he was a finalist for that head coaching job, one of the final candidates along with Danny Barrett for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And naturally, with his father, the legendary quarterback for the Riders in the 60s and 70s, he grew up in Regina, played his high school ball there. And runs a great offense with these Ticats that's been challenged in the second half on first down. That one is out of the hands of Archie Amerson. Will be 2nd and 10.
Coming right at you. Danny Mack play action fake to Williams in the line of scrimmage, pulls up and throws a dime to Emerson. Just a little bit out in front of him, but certainly a catchable football. Would have been a great catch, but a catchable football. Now it puts him in a 2nd and long situation. An opportunity here where Saskatchewan just play soft, come up and make the tackle, make them put the ball away and get a chance to score again themselves.
Not to overstate the significance of all these plays, but if Saskatchewan could stop them here, they don't. Drive continues, a first down. Amerson atones by making that catch up with a Hamilton 45 in the sticks move.
RD, we just showed him up in the box, and Danny McManus and Ronnie Lancaster right there. Hey, all 3 of those people know better than anybody that the best thing to do to get this thing going right track is sustain a drive here, keep their defense off the field and regroup and put some points of their own on the board.
The ball's down at the Hamilton 46. Still with a 14-point lead, but remember, it was 28 when the half began. Jarrett Smith, once again in a
Maxey on the stop for the Riders.
short yardage situation, not the situation that they needed, but what they ended up with, short yardage. It'll be 2nd down and long.
Danny's got a little more hop in his step too, and I think his team reflects that. I just believe that. The head coach is down. If your coaches are down, players will be down. If your coaches are up, players will be up. And the team's feeding off of Danny Barrett's enthusiasm right now.
And he's not so far removed from his playing days. Remembers what it was like to wear the uniform.
Only about 15 pounds.
That one's complete to Flutie. And another Ticat first down. So, Matt, as you alluded to, Hamilton starting to do the right things in the second half and getting a drive going, trying to fuse that Saskatchewan momentum.
Artie and Danny McManus are putting the guys in the right spots and making it happen down there. These quick, sharp throws is tough to defend because they're just going up there, sitting in the holes, and Danny McManus is delivering the football.
And a shotgun again. Over the top. Complete again. Flutie. Big yardage. Saskatchewan 30, and then given a rough ride out of bounds by George White.
George was lucky there. He got away with one. I think they could have called a personal foul there, throwing him at right. But you see Darren Flutie just coming right over the middle. High percentage throw. He's running away from man coverage. Showing you his burst. George White steer wrestling the ground there, a little out of bounds. Not too bad. A little worse than it was.
Excuse me, Matt. 20-yard gain for Flutie. 4 catches, 111 yards in this game. Jarrett Smith once again getting it on 1st and 10, and this time driving up for close to 5 yards. 2nd and 5 Ticats. Jarrett Smith, great running back at the University of Waterloo a few years ago, and in week 1, after Clifford Ivory blocked a punt, Smith picked it up, a great special teams player as well, and ran it in for the Tiger Cat touchdown. The game where they had a big lead, by the way, and saw it get frittered away. They don't want that to happen tonight. Second down. Call it 6 to go. At a shotgun again. Looking deep for Flutie. He got turned around and had a shot at it, but just a little bit too far as he had to go back over the other shoulder.
We know that he can make this play and make this catch because we saw him do something very similar in the Grey Cup for a touchdown, a very important touchdown. We're looking over one shoulder, turns completely around the other way. He tries to locate the football, and that time just not able to do it, but he can make that play 9 times out of 10, and Danny Mac knows that, so he just spot throws that and throws that to a spot and lets Darren Flutie take care of the rest.
Paulus Baldiston has had a couple of field goals in the night, and this one will be from about 33 away. Lots of leg on that one, and 3 more on the board for Hamilton. Now a 17-point lead again. 37-20 Ticat. Down for a field goal, but this guy, Ronald Williams, was not a part of that drive. Once again, here's David Amber.
Rod, yeah, an interesting story. Ronald Williams was not in the last series. He's Hamilton's leading rusher. He has 2 touchdowns this year. He also set a club record for rushing touchdowns last year, yet he's not in. We asked why. They said no comment. I said, will he be back in the game? They said no comment, so that's all I can tell you right now.
And David, he does not look hurt, which leads you to wonder if he's being benched for a little while. The look at his face would indicate that, although I am just speculating. He does look furious.
There's a flag on the play.
Dion Tyler, the ball carrier there, with a smile as he gets up, but a flag down. And I'm just speculating, Matt, he might be hurt. I mean, they just have not addressed it.
It's good speculation, Rod.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 59. First down repeated.
You saw Archie Emerson sitting down right there wiping his face. He was hollering at someone around Williams. You saw Paulus Baldiston come over just a second ago, you know, pat him on the butt, hey, keep your head up, you know, and you're getting a lot of veteran ball players coming over saying, hey, don't worry about it. You know, this storm will pass and you'll get your chance. But looks like a little disciplinary action going on down there right now. A little attitude check.
Earlier, he had obviously trouble in a mismatch in Demetrius Maxey, and then later fumbled the football, which led to Saskatchewan points in the second half. Nothing doing right there for the Riders, however. Hobbs gets it, and the Ticats are all over it. Nicholas Harper.
They had a meeting over there. McGriggs and Harper had a little party. Just blew up that receiver. Hobbs didn't know what hit him.
And they get nothing for it. In fact, they're looking at a second and very long in this situation.
Please turn the other 20-second clock off. Please turn the other 20-second clock off.
Saw earlier on the field goal drive of Hamilton to stop the bleeding, Danny McManus was talking to the officials, and obviously they're having 20-second clock problems, and so you want to get that corrected, make it even for both sides, so they have to turn them both off in each end zone so that one club doesn't get an advantage over the other here.
So that situation a lot with headsets. If you have communication problems, both have to go at it to make it fair. Burris airs it out, but nothing doing that time, and it'll be third down. And punting situation again for Saskatchewan. Now they had the quick touchdowns early in this half. However, it should be pointed out, it wasn't the result of a long drive that they really needed. They've needed the turnovers to get them down there in the first place.
Yeah, capitalize on the turnovers. They didn't do it in the first half, had 2 opportunities, didn't take advantage of them. Come out in the second half, immediately take advantage of them, create them. Don't take anything away from their defense. They created those, turn them into points.
Callum back, and what Saskatchewan's defense needs is for Burris and that offense to get a drive going, give them a bit of rest, and take it down the field and make this a closer game. Flag down, nearly blocked again. McCallum gets it away. And with a roll, it goes inside the 40 for Tony Aikens. George White's all over him, takes him further back at the 35 after a 53-yard punt.
White and McCallum on the stop as a flag back to the field.
I really think that George White is one of the best acquisitions of the Canadian Football League this year from Boston College. This guy started a halfback with Saskatchewan this year, and then they moved him to the linebacker position because he is so active. And violent is a good way to describe him because he's all over the football field. Defensively, special teams, George White is making a quick impact with the Saskatchewan Roughriders right now.
And small size for a linebacker, but as you mentioned, the aggressiveness seems to take over at times. 204 pounds listed at.
He hits like he's 225, 230.
He sure does. And this is all coming back. It's too bad, too, for the Riders for a 53-yard punt. With the best-case scenario to hem Hamilton back a little bit.
Saskatchewan number 47 for repeat third down.
Aaron Collins called for procedure there. Well, we're not done yet, even when we're done here, because we'll head off to John Wells and Glenn Suter at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, where the 0-2 Eskimos take on the 0-2 Bombers, who actually have a point in the standings with that regulation tie, the overtime loss to Calgary last week. Good meeting at Commonwealth, and how much will Nealon Green be used at quarterback? The big question for the Eskimos. Danny Barrett can smile, even with his team down, and even with them punting now in the end zone. And another flag goes down, and it's good pressure again by the Ticats. Much better field position. Aikens ridden out of bounds. Again by George White, who's all over it. This time just a 38-yard punt.
White on the stop. And there's another flag on the play.
Ticats have been coming very close to blocking these punts. They came a really close shot in the first half. This time it's Jeff Johnson, graduate of York University. A backup running back that's done some good special teams work as well, getting in there.
Daryl Drawlin's really working, milking these special teams, really upping the pace and the play of the Hamilton special teams, and we're seeing it week in, week out. They are creating havoc on all special teams in every form, making things happen.
Offside, Hamilton, number 13, repeat third down.
Of course you do. They had the great punt before, and then they got pushed back 5 yards. Not as good a punt, so much better field position. So for the third straight time, we'll have a punt from Paul McCallum, and hopefully that leg isn't too tired because he's getting a lot of work right now. It didn't look too tired when he nailed one in the first half, Matt, of 52 yards.
I tell you, give Daryl Drawlin special teams opportunity to block one. You give him 3 chances, sooner or later it's going to happen. Odds are in their favor. Daryl Drawlin, 9th year in the league. He's been on 4 different teams, and I'm telling you, the Hamilton Ticats are pleased to have him on board.
This is like the end of a practice where they do their punt cover drills. They're going to try it again for the 3rd straight time.
Nobody likes that because that's a whole lot of conditioning and running going on down there right now.
Down the field. Well, benefit the Riders. Good punt by McCallum, his best of the night. Amerson, though, has some room to return, and as a result, it's a better exchange this time for Saskatchewan back at the Hamilton 44, a 56-yarder back after this.
Oh, yeah, this is all wrong. We're going to have to fix this. I'm here in an American football stadium talking to the head groundskeeper, Don. Now, obviously, you didn't get the memo.
Memo?
We got to bring this field up to CFL regulations. We just got to knock out these end zones, make them 20 yards, widen the field about 11.5 yards, put 10 new yards right in the middle. It's a phone booth out there, Don. We'll get the wide receivers room to operate, some running lanes for the running back.
They don't like to run that far. That's going to be too far for them. We got to keep it narrowed up.
In Canada, you got to run big. You got to run fast.
These guys are get too tired running that far.
The CFL, size does matter, baby.
On first down, McManus throwing to Corey Grant, complete. First down again across midfield. Hamilton right away on the move. And Danny Mack in the last drive got some of the momentum back for the Tiger Cats. 9-play drive that's led to a field goal and a 37-20 lead for Hamilton.
Another great example there of Corey Grant just sitting in zone, coming down to your bottom right here is Corey right there, number 2. He just sits in the zone and winds it and finds a nice soft spot.
Well, once again, with Ronald Williams out and no explanation why, Jared Smith is the running back. And he gains about 3 yards on that one. It'll be second and long for the Tiger Cats. There's Williams. Does not appear to be hurt. Once again, we've not got any confirmation on that. And after a fumble early on in the half, perhaps it's punishment.
This is a simple thing, but it can be a very complicated thing and a very ugly thing in a locker room in a hurry, because one situation like that, a guy that's well-liked, well-respected.
And out of shotgun. It's complete to Flutie, and another Tiger Cat first down. But a flag is down.
White on the stop. There's a flag on the play.
As we've talked about with Lancaster and Ronald Williams, this is just our speculation because there was that fumble earlier on.
Hamilton, number 51, second down repeated.
The center, Carl Calder, called on that hold, so it'll come back, and it'll be second down and long. So we don't really know until they confirm it, but you do have to wonder. He certainly looks fine.
Yeah, I think that Ronald Williams will be big enough to handle this like a man and not become a cancer or a bad attitude in the locker room. I don't think that's going to happen, but in some situations where things aren't, as kosher and as settled as they are in the Hamilton locker room, it can become a real ugly situation. But Ronald Williams, you saw him there clapping his hands, cheering his team on. He's going to stay in this one. He's going to stay positive.
Or could it be more flags? I was about to say. There have been a lot of them lately. This one coming down with the snap of the football. Flags all over the place. 3 of them down. All over the field.
Procedure, Hamilton, number 66, second down repeated.
The guard, Mike Mihalik, called on that one, procedure for the Cats. So put 5 more yards on. A little more real estate. The Cats are going backwards right now.
It's not a situation you want to be in too often as a quarterback with the wind in your face. Second 22.
Wonderful pass. Oh, yeah. Got a lot on it, too, for Grant. Nearly intercepted as well. Good coverage right there by Omar Morgan, the corner. So it'll be third down. Ozzie coming back. McManus going off. Lancaster's team with a 17-point lead.
Use a designated driver or call 3.
Adidas Friday Night Football on TSN at the quarter.
Welcome back to TSN CFL Control. Duthie, Tillman, and Schultz. And the question I have is, how big is Danny Barrett's smile going to get when they actually win? The guy smiles ear to ear when they're down, and 3 weeks in a row we've really seen this. And I guess that's one really positive sign for Saskatchewan, because they could have folded up to 10 at halftime.
No question. And win, lose, or draw, you have to love Danny Barrett and his enthusiasm. Heck, they're down by 28 points at halftime. And I don't know what he said to them, but they've come out and they played with great emotion, great passion. This is a team that could easily fall to 0-3 tonight. But as Matt Dunnigan said, the team is reflecting Danny Barrett's personality, and the future is bright at Saskatchewan.
And I want to talk about another personality, Ronald Williams. I mean, this is unusual that your starting power running back would be on the sidelines, and he doesn't look like he's hurt. Now, Ronald Williams in the BC game when all that adversity hit and the BC Lions came back and won, was very negatively vocal, was more cussing out players than really helping him. And I wonder if he didn't fall back into that mode. It's unusual to bench your top running back like this, but I'll tell you what, Ron Lancaster understands the personality of his players, and he understands how to push their buttons to get the most of them. Maybe not necessarily in this game, but throughout the season. This may be something he's setting up, so down the road, Ronald Williams knows who's boss, and it's Ron Lancaster.
But man, he looks mad.
He looks mad.
He looks mad. May take it out on one of the Riders if he gets back into this one. We have another game coming up at you as soon as this one is done. It's a battle out west in Edmonton, Winnipeg, and the Eskimos. Both teams looking for their first victory of the season. Nealon Green is expected to dress for the Eskimos, but not expected to play.
Ronnie Lancaster, discipline problem with Ronald Williams? Possibly. He's right here. I want you to look at the distance away from this man right there. That's the two that are in question right now. Is there a little spat going on? If so, the distance between them tells us there is. I don't know if this could be the reason or not, but, you know, running backs touch the rock, you know, they're liable to go on the ground, and it looks like a solid effort there by Williams. Ball goes on the ground, big turnover for Saskatchewan. Not sure if that's the problem with what they're discussing, but Ronald Williams has not been in the ball game.
I would certainly have to think that there'd be more to it than that. Maybe the fumble would be the last thing, but running backs, great ones have fumbled before. Makes you wonder. An attitude thing on the punt and return. Eric Gulliford there after a 36-yarder by Osbaldiston. And after 3 quarters, well, you can still see the absolute difference there for passing. Only 89 yards for Saskatchewan, but they did have a big quarter, and turnovers, Matt, certainly helping out.
Yeah, turnovers right here is what's kept this game close. Otherwise, it'd be a blowout at this point. But Saskatchewan has got to create those and turn those into points.
Only 100 net yards, as opposed to 450 for the Tiger Cat. And a holding call on the play as well to push Saskatchewan back to their 20. Working against the breeze here in the 4th quarter. And down by 17. And they've relied, as we talked about before, for trying to get back into this game thanks to turnovers. Had it not been for them, it still would have been a total blowout. Burris, simply put, and Barrett can't rely on those turnovers. They need a drive, a big one. And now would be a good time. Crowd's getting fired up. Under pressure. Gets away. Keeps it. Slides down as he gets across the 30 and a first down.
Touchdown by Michael O'Shea.
I tell you, they caught him in a situation again when they got Dan Farthing latched on to Lamar McGriggs. Hey, Lamar McGriggs is a great athlete, but he just can't cover a receiver like Dan Farthing. I know that Henry Burris is looking for it, pressured, moving around the pocket, does what he can, possibly picks up enough yards for first down. But Lamar Griggs, number 45, right in the screen there.
First down, Saskatchewan.
Is being put in situations a lot of Sam or strong side linebackers are all season long and all year long and throughout the Canadian Football League for quite some time now. Is they're trying to find a linebacker that can cover and be a run stopper as well. And in most cases, they can't cover as well as they can run stop. And whenever you can find a matchup like that, you want to attack it. And I guarantee it, Burris was looking for it that time, just didn't have time to find it.
First down. Burris, the play fake, and it's off the hands of his target. That was Curtis Marsh, and it would have been first down yardage again.
Second down.
Jeff Cummins coming hard. Right here, second from the bottom, in the middle, got a long way to go, got a lot of folks to sift through to get to Burris. Oh, just a quick move. Set up Green and just to the outside, quick move to the inside, and he was in Burris's face in a heartbeat. We almost had the ugly sack dance on our hands there.
Haven't seen a lot of that. Not tonight, none at all. On the other side, McManus over the middle, looking for Gulliford. That one goes too far, and it falls incomplete, and Saskatchewan's going to have to put the football away.
For Gulliford is incomplete. It's third down.
Boy, Rob Hitchcock looked like he was undecided as to whether or not he's right. He's just right here, folks, coming to the right side of your screen. Here he comes, right in this area. And it looked like he hesitated just 1 minute. He's going to go for the kill shot and interception. Kill shot, interception. And he kind of caught right in between there. Otherwise, we would have seen a big play by Rob Hitchcock, either a pick or a knockout.
And looking at Eric Gulliford at the end there, I don't know if he wanted any part of Rob Hitchcock either.
Good choice, Eric.
There's McCallum. He had to fake it. He had no choice. It was going to be blocked. And look what he does. A first down with a bad leg and all. And a late hit out of bounds. Oh, the Ticats have been close all night to blocking punts. There's been too much pressure up the middle. McCallum's seen it. He took off with it. And it paid off.
All right,
Tit for tat, it looks like. You know, they've been trying for that block for quite some time. Pressuring hard. McCallum simply pulls it down.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 81, first down.
McCallum looks up. They've been trying to block. He sees it. I think he sensed that himself. I don't think that was sent from the sidelines by the looks of the cover team. And he just takes it and shows us his legs not that bad, in bad shape. Goes the distance and gets 15 tacked on top.
Maybe Tony Akins was mad, saying, hey, you're supposed to kick it to me. What are you doing? I need my punt return yardage. What are you doing taking off like that? First down. The Hamilton